I'm back. I'm back once again, my dear colleagues, with a very hot and viral update ready to share with you. From famous sport athletes to entertainers, we find multiples of examples of people mocking God and paying the consequences for their careless words. Here are celebrities who mocked God and ended up cutting their lives. Before we dive right into this, I prefer it twice to introduce myself to my new members. This is BTT, popularly known as the Beyond the Truth News, and behind the lens is your best narrator, Will Bravin. Stay intact till the end. Welcome once again. Number 1, Tancredo Neves, the president of Brazil. In 1980s, during the presidential campaign, this man said, "If I get 500,000 votes from the party, not even God will remove me from the presidency." Oh yes, he did got the votes, but he felt sick just a day before he was made the president and died. Don't joke with God. My number 2 here is Thomas Andrews. We all know about Thomas. Thomas built a great ship, greater than any other during his time. He named this ship RMS Titanic ship. So a reporter asked him how safe the ship would be, and in reply, Thomas said with a very ironic tone, "No wave can sink this ship. Nothing can sink this ship. Even God himself couldn't sink the ship." After that statement, the Titanic set the sail, and it is clear what happened to the Titanic together with Thomas. Very interesting, very interesting. Number 3, in Campinas, Brazil in 2005, a group of friends who were very drunk went to pick up another friend from her home. Her mother was very worried about the drunkenness, so she said, "My daughter, go with God and may He protect you." But she responded, "Only if He can travel in the trunk, in the boot, because inside here is already full." They drove, but a few hours later, they had been involved in a very fatal accident. Everyone died. The car could not be recognized what type of car it had been, but surprisingly, the boot, the trunk was intact, and inside it, there was a crate of eggs, and none was broken, even a crack. Number 4, I give it to John Lennon, the leader of the Beatles. Just like in Kenya, we have famous singing groups like Mbuzi Gang, Sailors Gang, Boondocks, Ethic, and many others. Now there is this famous group of singers called the Beatles in America that was doing well back in 1960s. It was led by John Lennon. John Lennon was a legendary singer and a co-founder of the Beatles in 1960s. The Beatles ruled the music world for nearly 10 years with their great music. In 1966, at the height of his popularity, John Lennon was interviewed by an American magazine, and he quoted this, that Christianity will end. It will disappear. I don't have to argue about this, I'm certain. He continued by saying, Jesus was okay, but his subjects were too simple. Today we are more famous than him. This led to the collapse of the Beatles in 1969, and on 8th December of 1980, John Lennon was shot 6 times in his head by one of his fans in front of his house, and he died on the spot. The person who had shot him was caught, and he said that he shot him because of disrespecting God. Really scary. Let me be gender sensitive for one moment. With me here is Marilyn, a female actress who had the kind of life everyone would wish for, with a great amount of wealth and fame. One day while filming, he was visited by a preacher. He told her that the Spirit of God had sent him to preach to her, After hearing what the preacher had to say, she stood up and said, "I don't need you, Jesus." A week after the incident, she was found dead in her bedroom. It is believed that she committed suicide. I immediately moved to number 6. With me here is Cazuza, a Brazilian singer who once, while smoking a cigarette during a show in Rio de Janeiro, he puffed out some smoke into the air and said, "God, that's for you." He then died of lung cancer in a very, very horrible manner. Of course, I'm aware that this video will never be interesting if I'll not mention a Kenyan celebrity who mocked God and died a horrible death. Meet Otieno Kajwang, the late Kenyan politician who was once spotted saying that God has no power to stop the referendum. Now, even if they call the Almighty God, the referendum is unstoppable because Kenyans have spoken. He died on 18th of November 2015, just a few months after his careless speech. So you have heard it, and I'll have to repeat it over and over again. The Almighty God hates it when people mock and disrespect him. Just worship Satan or anything else that you'd like to worship. Do as many sins as possible. Do anything nasty, but never, never, never disrespect God. It is recorded very clear in Proverbs. Proverbs 18:21. What you say can perceive life or destroy it. So you must accept the consequences of your words. You have seen it, I've shown you. As you can see, words are very, very powerful. So guard your tongue and life will be smooth. I stop at this particular point. Once again, I'm Willie Bravin. Have it nice till we meet again. God bless you and thank you for watching.